Hello and welcome to another Bearded Geek toy review. In today's episode we're looking at the latest Doctor Who B&M exclusive, the 3-figure set from the William Hartnell story, The Keys of Marinus. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel, and in today's episode we are looking at one of the brand new B&M exclusive Doctor Who figure packs, which are now hitting B&M stores after a bit of a delay. So in today's episode we're looking at this one here from the 1964 story, The Keys of Marinus. Now this was a story from the very first season of Doctor Who, broadcast in 1964, featuring William Hartnell as the first Doctor, and also William Russell as Ian Chesterton, and that's the main figure that we get today. So we've actually finally got a first Doctor companion in figure form, and I think probably after 58 years of the show being broadcast, we probably never expected to actually see a figure like this being released. So again, B&M have really knocked it out of the park once again with these exclusive packs. And he comes with two Voord, who are effectively the monsters from this particular story. So as you can see, there's the 3 figures there, and the Voord are 2 slightly different figures. And then you get Ian Chesterton there in the middle. Standard packaging as usual. And then we get some detail on the back of the figures, and then also a brief description of the story itself. Now, incidentally, this story was the second to be written by writer Terry Nation, who Doctor Who fans will know as the creator and inventor of the Daleks. His first Doctor Who story was, of course, the debut of the Daleks in a story that's widely got many different titles, but most people just call it the Daleks, and that was the very second story that was broadcast in late 1963 across Christmas and into the new year of 1964. So this was his follow-up, and again, it's not another kind of like this one's like kind of like a chase quest kind of story. And it's been actually quite a while since I've watched this one, so I'll probably might dip into this on DVD just to refresh myself with the actual story itself. But in the meantime, let's crack open the figure set and have a closer look at the 3 figures. So just to note before we get to the actual figures themselves, again, let's have a look at the inner packaging. And as recently that we've had with these particular sets, we've got a little diorama of one of the actual locations from the story. So that's a nice little photograph there. Nice, like, photoshopped kind of like look at one of the sets if you want to have that as part of your display. So it's nice that Character Options and B&M include this, because I feel it just gives a little bit extra value to the actual sets themselves. But in the meantime, let's have a closer look now at the figures. So here we've got the 3 figures out of the packaging, and again, I think Character Options have done another brilliant job here. So as you can see, the 2 Voord figures are essentially like the same figure, but just with a slightly different variations. So you've got this figure on the left here, who has this circular ident on the top of his face, mask, whatever, and obviously you then got the 2 little silver rivets there, as well as a holder for an accessory. And both figures do come with a little knife accessory that you've got there, which obviously can be put in the holder there, which I'll just try and put in. Oh, there you go. Okay, so that slots in very, very nicely. Well, that's that first figure. And then you've got the second figure, so slight variation. This guy has a bit like the Teletubbies, they have a different symbol on top of the head. So this one's got a triangle and a kind of like silver rivet at the top rather than the ones that are on the waist of the first figure. And again, he also comes with a blade, which again, you could have the character holding if you don't want it in the actual blade thing. There you go. Yeah, very menacing using that. Now, as much as these are probably quite a very simple design, they effectively were in the program itself wetsuits, hence the flippers that they have as feet, and then obviously they had a stylized head or mask. But you know, I think they make very quite effective monsters or villains from that first season. Certainly memorable, but obviously not as memorable as the actual Daleks themselves. But the Voord didn't make another appearance in the program. However, they did make an appearance several years later, about 20 odd years later, in the Doctor Who magazine comic strip, where I think it was actually Grant Morrison himself, the famous comics writer, who made the connection of the Voord being very early prototype Cyberman. Now, I don't think that's ever been officially put down as canon, because sometimes they don't really recognise the comic strip as an official part of the programme's history itself. It's kind of like take your own pick of whether you accept that. But, you know, I do think they make a quite striking figure, and certainly memorable for a story that is essentially 57 years old. And then we've got our very first Doctor companion, based on the likeness of William Russell, as Ian Chesterton, the school teacher who, along with Barbara Wright, wonderfully played there by William Russell, found themselves whisked away in the TARDIS in that very first adventure, An Unearthly Child. And it's a brand new head sculpt, and it's a very striking likeness, very, very accurate to the actor. They've done a stellar job here, and as I've said with previous reviews, the sculpt is always dependent, certainly when you're not using digital face printing technology like Hasbro does for the Star Wars Black Series figure line. The likeness is always dependent on the paint job, and if you have too heavy a paint job, then it takes away the likeness of the figure. But they've really, really done a good job on this figure, and you can really see that likeness of William Russell, the actor, coming through there. Nice little kind of like wash on the hair as well. And obviously he's got the school tie and then the suit. And now obviously this is a kit bash from other figures. We've had this suited figure in the past, most notably John Sims' Master, or Mr. Saxon. And then also the body was also used again for the Anthony Ainley Master in the Forbidden Planet exclusive Planet of the Fire set, which was released many, many years ago. And also the body that's been used for the Voord. As you can see, it's not quite a frog suit there, which I thought they would have used the Cyberman sculpted body from The Invasion, which is based on a wetsuit. But they've gone with actually the body that was used for Sharaz Jek and the male Axon. And again, we're getting the same body, but then with different head and different feet. For the other First Doctor set that's coming out from B&M this month, which is from another first season story from 1964, which is the Sensorites. Now, I went to B&M today. Wasn't my local store because they haven't got these in stock yet. I did have to drive out a little bit further afield, and I went to another store that's kind of local, and they had this set, and as well as the 2 Dalek sets, which are the ones from the Patrick Troughton story, The Power of the Daleks, and the John Pertwee story, The Day of the Daleks. But they didn't have the Sensorites free figure set. So obviously that's probably either not hit B&M stores yet, or they've not put it out, or, you know, it's just one of the things. I have seen more reports of these free sets being out on shelves in B&M stores across the country than I have with the Sensorites, but they probably will turn up at some time. I know we have had to wait a long time since these were first announced. They were first announced way back in early August and expected to be in stores in early August, but then B&M announced that obviously due to distribution issues caused by Brexit, amongst other things, that obviously there was a delay in these figure sets hitting the B&M store. So if your local B&M store hasn't got these in yet, then don't worry, they will turn up at some point because they are getting sent out from the main B&M distribution centre. Just be patient. Don't harass any of the staff about, you know, checking the back and stuff, because these figures will get put out on shelves as soon as they receive them, because B&M don't like to actually put any not put stock out. You know, they're very much a bargain home store, and they like to put stuff on the shelf to get it out and get it sold. So just be patient with these sets actually hitting your local B&M store. But again, it's another wonderful set from B&M. Who would have thought that we would have got 2 sets this year from the very first season of Doctor Who? And I will be doing a review of the Sensorites set once this hits stores and once I can get hold of that. But in the meantime, I think it's absolutely excellent. An excellent value for money. $19.99 for essentially 3 figures. Great comparison when you compare that, you know, with Marvel Legends, DC Multiverse by McFarlane, and also Star Wars Black Series. You're paying £20 for just 1 figure. So to get 3 figures for the price of $19.99 is an absolute bargain. And finally, just as an example of what I was saying, of how clever character options are at using various different figures and body parts. And as you can see, here's the example. Yeah, the Master Johnson version from the new series that was released way back in 2007 figure is, you know, as you can see, that it's using the same body. Obviously the hands are slightly different there. And obviously Shara's Jack, that was first released, I think way back in about 2012, I think, through Forbidden Planet. Essentially, bar that set there, is using virtually the same body, just with different hands, different head, and different feet. So it's just good that character options can obviously have many, many different ways of bringing us these figures for such a great price. So thank you for watching. If you'd like that video, then please leave us a like. It really does help out the algorithm of the channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then please hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell to notify you when we upload a new video. When the new other B&M sets do come through, certainly the Sensorite set, I will also be uploading a video of that once I get my hands on one. And also a big thank you to everybody who subscribed. We've passed the 200 mark. Literally, it is absolutely amazing. It took us almost a year to get to 100 subscribers, and literally within the space of about 5 weeks, we've hit 200. I'm absolutely amazed. So thank you to everybody who has subscribed. It really, really is appreciated, and I hope you absolutely do continue to watch and do like the content that I produce. So in the meantime, keep watching Bearded Geek Toys and stay safe. Take care, and we will see you soon with more fun videos. See you later.